I hope you're doing well and welcome back to another stream. Another not watch along. Sorry, what am I doing? Another stream up on Tereak Talks. I hope you're all doing well, people. I hope you're having a good Monday so far. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching back later, thank you for coming in. We are, as you can see from the thumbnail and title of this video, doing a Premier League review. Yes, we still do have games coming up for the rest of the game week, the match week for the Premier League, but we're going to talk about the ones together. You guys in the chat, you guys in the comments, let me know your thoughts on this weekend's games, because boy, oh boy, there has been a lot going on this weekend. Thank you for coming in. Who we got so far? We've got Wilf in the chat saying, yo, T-Money and Tereak Talks fam. Big love on this good evening. Good evening to yourself, Wilf. Thanks for coming in, my brother. We've got G Staffy in the place coming in with a hello, as she usually does. Hope you're keeping well, G Staffy. We have Moss Boss in the building saying big up CB. And we have Crystal Palace Ultra. Louis, big up yourself, Louis. Thanks for coming in. And yes, we'll be talking about your boys. We're going to be talking about everyone who's played on the weekend. But yes, make sure you do hit that like button if you are watching on YouTube. If you're watching elsewhere, go subscribe on YouTube. That will be much appreciated. But yes, let's get into it right now. Let's not leave no time to waste and get right into it. So, as you can see, I've got the slideshow all prepared for you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Get in the comments, get in the live chat down below, and share the stream. Guys, please share the stream. It will help grow the channel. If you could do all those three things, it'd be massively appreciated. Thank you so much for all the support that you are showing, and thank you for coming in and showing support. And let's get cracking. Let's get talking, because I've got a few questions to give you guys as we're gonna go along from to this weekend's matches. There's only one place we can really start, and that is the demolition derby in Manchester. Manchester City winning by 4-1 against the red side, Manchester United. Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez both scoring a brace, 2 goals each for the citizens. And then Sancho scoring a beauty for Manchester United. But overall, Manchester United fans, let me know your thoughts in the chat and in the comments below. Because from my perspective, just from a neutral fan point of view, when I was looking at that in particular from United, I thought in the first half, you wasn't actually too bad. You created some opportunities on the counter-attack. City did come out looking cautious, I believe. In my eyes, I thought they were cautious. I thought that the previous defeat, their last home game in the Premier League against Tottenham Hotspur, was kind of on their mind. Cautious for City standards, don't get me wrong. They were still out there aggressively in the press when they didn't have possession. But there was one particular moment in and around the 20th minute mark where I saw all 11 players behind the ball for City, and they really didn't want to let themselves be exposed on the counter-attack as often as they were against Spurs, because Spurs didn't have too much possession in their 3-2 win at the Etihad. But all the possession they had, they sprung attacks on Man City, but they regrouped a lot quicker in this game. And I think what epitomised that was when you saw in the second half of the game, Phil Foden winning the ball back, but there was a swarm of City players quickly in transition, sprinting back. And he even gave it a little fist pump like it was a goal. And I thought that was a moment where they have learned their lesson, Manchester City. But in the first half, it was 2-1. It did end 2-1. United, they weren't too bad. I'll be honest with you guys. They weren't that awful in the first half, having chances, obviously scoring the goal from Jadon Sancho against his former side. It was a wonderful goal. And for United fans, the little bit of positive that you can take from this game is that Jadon Sancho has stepped up in 2022. This year, he's been your best attacker, and you have seen a good return from Jadon Sancho in his performances with goals, assists, and he scored a beauty and a little celebration to equalise. But there were so much more problems, even when you did have a not too bad half given the game. Defensively, you were a shambles. Harry Maguire, enough has been said about him. I just don't really see the point in going in too much on Harry Maguire anymore, because he's just someone who's, yes, he's not good enough to play for Manchester United week in, week out. He's not as bad as he is right now, but that's because football is a mental game, just like how in life. He has got ability. Questions are there if he's got enough for Manchester United not to be playing in this system. Not for where Manchester United want to be, in my personal opinion. But the level he's at is ridiculously low. And it was easily seen for that second goal where he dummied it and let it run through his legs. I did do a watch along yesterday. I didn't even notice when he let it roll through his legs, when most defenders you'd see in that position after David De Gea made a fantastic save, and he made a few fantastic saves in that game from Phil Foden's right footage thunderbolt. But it was close to him. He got a save to it, palmed it out, and then most centre-backs will just knock it out for a corner, play it the way they're facing, not let it run through their legs, and then it was pinball, and then City regained the lead, and Kevin De Bruyne scored his second of the game then. But speaking of Kevin De Bruyne, I just need to reiterate this. Guys in the chat, let me know your thoughts, because I want to hear your thoughts coming into it as well. Don't worry. The disrespect I've been seeing on Kevin De Bruyne prior to this game on social media, on Twitter in particular, I saw Manchester United fans, of course, saying that Pogba's better than Kevin De Bruyne, and Kevin De Bruyne has had an awful season. Let's be honest, guys. Like, Kevin De Bruyne has not had an awful season. I think everyone looks at the standard that Kevin De Bruyne has set. He's missed a lot of games due to injury, but he still performed in big games this season. This game being one, and the Chelsea game where he scored that fantastic goal, and that was the deciding factor at the Etihad against a really resolute Chelsea side who had their chances in that game, or should I say chance, but it was domination by possession from Man City, as they typically do. But in the second half, Manchester United, that was poor from you guys. Like, I don't even think it was a lot to do with lack of trying anymore. I've heard that a lot, but this is my opinion. I think mainly what the issue was the lack of fitness and being able to keep up the tempo that they played with in the first half. In the first half, they weren't excellent, but they were much better than how they stepped out in the second, and the game was lost. City are able to maintain that level of aggression and intensity, and especially at home with the home crowd behind them for much longer periods, even away from home. I trust them to do that more than Manchester United, and the players that are in this squad. They're not even anywhere near the fitness levels, mentality, anything like that to Manchester City. They're fighting for different things at the moment, and the table clearly shows that. So I don't even think it was for a lack of trying, in all honesty. But just coming back to it, before I go into this second part talking about Manchester City versus United, I want to hear what you guys are saying. Let me see what you guys are saying right now. Louis says City are just City, and you've got them next coming up on a Monday night, next week, Monday, a week today. City are just on that run of form, aren't they, at the moment, Louis, where they're just looking relentless. I think they will drop points. I do. I really do think they will drop points at some point in a game. Throughout this last end of the season. I also think Liverpool will too. It's just about who drops more. Are we surprised if they do it again? Where I see a lot of people just touting, City and Liverpool, they're just going to go on a mad run in games, aren't they? All over again, like how they did in the 2017-18 season, where it was like 97 points Liverpool had, and it still wasn't enough to win the league. They still finished second. I don't think it'll work out like that. There is some difficult games for Man City and Liverpool still to play, where it'll be tricky. Difficult opponents. Everton last week, they were very fortunate to grab the win given the situation with Rodri. So, Louis, there's a little bit of hope for you there. I'm just, do you feel, hopeful now? Did that help at all? Will from Moss, the ticket for the Borough game versus Chelsea. I have a massive game plan to get a couple of tickets. Love to hear that. G Staffy. What else we got in here? Louis saying, I have a sneaky feeling Sancho will tear up the Premier League next season. Okay. With the levels that he's showing at the moment, he can. There is the ability to do that. But the question is, are Manchester United going to be ready to tear up the Premier League next season? Are they going to give him the platform, the structure for him to go and thrive? Because he seems to be doing it in spite of Manchester United, which we have seen the likes of Bruno do in the past under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Pogba at points in his Manchester United career. So Sancho, the form is up there. He's leveling up. He's adapted to the Premier League. He's suiting the pace of it now, because with Sancho, he's not the most like, he's not the, when I say this, I don't mean it in this kind of way, but he's not an athlete of a winger. He's not that pace and power and directness, but he's very direct with his dribbling, very skillful, technically wonderful. And you don't score as many goals as you do in the Bundesliga and play as many games and get the assists for Borussia Dortmund without having the ability and the understanding of football to do it, and the IQ. So yeah, Jadon Sancho, big season next season for United. And I'm sure if United do take the cup, the rebuild, which it doesn't look like they will be doing at the moment, because they're still talking about winning trophies and those things, and they think they are a few players away still. But yeah, they just need to rip it up. But hey, they can keep continuing from an Arsenal fan's perspective, but looking at it as a football neutral with where United have been in the past, separating that from Arsenal, I'm looking at it and saying it needs to be done. They need to rip it apart and go again. And I'm not just talking about what's on the pitch. I'm on about what's up top. That board, the infrastructure, the people in charge, the people making these football decisions. When are they going to fall upon the sword? That's what I'm saying in terms of their job, not literally, which is what, some fans would want you to think. But Wilf saying here, Sancho is showing how you get the best out of him, playing him regularly. Yeah, that's what it is for these young players. And if we're talking about Sancho, the reason why he left Manchester City was to play regular game time, wasn't it, Wilf? And when he went to the Bundesliga, tearing it up. It took him a while to even settle in a little bit. He didn't just start in straight away, but it's a new environment, not the best one. The toxic environment, the club culture is what we're seeing at the moment, and with all the leaks and stuff. I'll get onto that in a bit, guys, well, so just go through your comments right here. But big up everyone in the chat right now. Thank you for showing the love and support. But yeah, just finishing on that point there, Wilf, he does need to continue playing, and he will get the best out of him. Even the second half, I was disappointed with him, but I can't put it all on him. Football's a team game. People forget that a lot of the time, and we look at individuals a lot and see how they are not performing, and we're thinking, why? It's something to do with them. They're not working hard enough or something like that. But the team, the Manchester United team, I've heard a lot of United fans say this is the worst bunch that they've had, not in terms of talent, but in terms of what the team is producing on the pitch and getting thumped. It's like not in week in, week out, getting thumped by teams that are better than them, that are clearly better than them, where United aren't the favourites. They're getting thumped. And when it comes to them playing against the teams they're expected to beat, they're struggling, and they're getting, like how most teams, I spoke to Rich and Louis about this before, the lower league teams, the teams lower in the league, they're not able to maintain that level of performance for the 90 minutes or for the majority of the game. But when they do it for a half or so, or for a 20-minute spell, United are really out of whack. And that's when sometimes they lose the game, they draw the game because they're not able to take their chances. And also, so yeah, I just want a bit of a waffle, a bit of a tangent on that. But Jack Grealish is in no man's land. Never 100 million should have stayed at Aston Villa. He wasn't too bad yesterday when we're looking at Manchester United, and they really did attack that left side. Pep Guardiola with not Kevin De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva took that left central half space position, with Grealish really getting some chalk on his boots and Cancelo working as a triangle against the likes of Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof and Scott McTominay. They saw that as a real weakness. And Jack Grealish, he wasn't great, but he was definitely causing Wan-Bissaka problems. And when we're saying great for the £100 million price tag, once again, Louis, price tags, you on this channel, I'll always put them to the side, because price tags isn't what necessarily how good the player is, but it's more what the selling club value him and the buying club how much they want him. And there's other factors like his English, marketability is a huge one, the position he plays, and yeah, how he was the club captain for Aston Villa at the time. So it is what it is. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Sorry, guys, if the camera keeps blurring up. There we go. It should be better. You got my big head on screen. He shouldn't be losing this out of focus. You know what I mean? You got a 5 head. right here. Come on, people. We shouldn't be knowing about this. KDB, King, McTominay was a lost puppy, and people giving Grealish props for a good match didn't see it. I see, you know what I mean? I didn't think he was great, but he was causing problems. He was for Wan-Bissaka, and I don't think that's because of Jack Grealish entirely. I think that's because of Wan-Bissaka this season. Well, that 1v1 defending, what he's renowned for against City when Raheem Sterling wasn't playing. I thought that's probably why Pep Guardiola has seen enough of Raheem Sterling coming up against Wan-Bissaka and Wan-Bissaka having the better of him. But I think Sterling would have probably caused him more problems in that particular game at that moment in time. But yeah, I think Wan-Bissaka was awful positionally on when he's doing these 1v1 defending moments. Sorry, I can't even speak. When he's having to defend in these 1v1 moments or the switch, he's always caught way too inside again. His pace caught, like, literally helped him a couple of times against Grealish. But apart from that, I didn't think Grealish was great myself. I thought he was okay. He was dangerous. And the fact that he had the ball the majority of the time, I didn't really see Mahrez have the ball on that right-hand side too much. David De Gea made saves to keep Man United in the game. Really, I'm shocked. Exactly. That tongue-in-cheek, that sarcasm right there. Yeah, wonderful saves he was making. We'll get on to that, Moss. We'll get on to that one when we talk about Arsenal. Anyone who can diss Kevin De Bruyne this season or any up till now doesn't know class when they see it exactly. Oozes class and his ability. Just being in that position in the box. And I've got some notes on here. That's why I keep looking over to the side, because I actually wanted to say this. For a central midfielder, his finishing ability is world class. It's up there with the best, alongside the best. And when I mean the best, I'm going to say the names Frank Lampard and Yaya Toure. He doesn't have the goal record to put himself alongside the likes of Frank Lampard. I know Yaya Toure because he had a couple of seasons. I don't know what. I've not looked at it on what Yaya Toure's goal scoring record was in the Premier League versus Kevin De Bruyne's. But Frank Lampard, yeah, I know he's not anywhere near that because of injuries, and that's the only reason in my eyes. Because the positions he takes, the way that he can strike the ball so cleanly with his left and right foot. It's very two-footed, 5-star weak foot on FIFA for a reason. But yeah, it's ridiculous the ability that Kevin De Bruyne has and the purity of the strikes that he has on goal. I mean, he didn't need to have that purity of striking against United yesterday, but being in the right position, sensing danger, similar to a striker would. And speaking of Kevin De Bruyne, if you did not know this, coming through as a youngster through the academy, he was actually a striker. And that probably works perfectly to nowadays strikers who do a lot more outside of the box than they do inside of the box. They don't spend anywhere near as much time. And when they're in there, they have to be effective, like Kevin De Bruyne was yesterday with those 2 goals. Took them brilliantly, slotted them in, enough pace and power. De Gea had no chance for either of them. But big up DMC Harper. Hey, Tereak, unbelievable how United just left KDB unmarked the entire second half. It's madness. DMC, this is the reason they couldn't handle him physically. They can't match the tempo of Man City in the game when they're trying to do something on the counter-attack. Man United had, 0 shots in that second half, I believe. Was it 0 shots? Well, I remember it was like the 80th minute and it was on 0. They couldn't handle them physically after that. And then once the physical elements start to go, the head was already gone before that, probably when it was 2-1 at half time. They knew they couldn't handle it anymore. So that's the reason why they left him unmarked. Yes, it's beyond belief that when we, as fans or, as people who are just watching the game thinking, how has he got so much space? They literally couldn't handle him, the likes of Scott McTominay and Fred anymore. It sounds simple. It sounds very simplistic, but it's the case. They couldn't. And big up Realist. No, we won't do anything next season unless I see our structure getting sorted. It's true. You won't do anything at all, Realist. Big up yourself anyway, Realist, every time. Elanga and Sancho are something to build on. And veteran fans want captain. CR7 found wasn't in the lineup for Ralph, then tells him he has a hip issue or something and takes the family back to Portugal. Who knows? There's so much issues at United right now in terms of that. But for Elanga and Sancho, I agree with you. There is something to build on. What a role model he is, eh? Who knows what the real issues are. But as really it says, but Bumbo Tux, I want structure, then we move exactly that. But big up Square Table Degenerates, big up STD in the place, and then PM Mr. 200 himself. When I look at United, I'd say talent wise, 5 would get into the Arsenal team, and that's saying something on talent wise, yeah. But if we're taking it out completely at this moment in time, they're not suited. They're not suited to the structure. And I just wanted to add this point, and the guy that you can see on the right there, Marcus Rashford. The rumours are that he's considering his future at Manchester United. And I want to ask this question. United fans, would you be happy to see Marcus Rashford leave? That's my question. Would you be happy to see him leave? And give some bit of context into it. Like, why do you think he's very much the issue? He hasn't lived up to his potential this season. Yes, he wasn't too bad the last season or the season before. I mean, he wasn't great towards the end when he picked up that injury. At the beginning, he scored some important goals. He scored an important goal against West Ham this season. But apart from that, like, let's be honest, he's been ridiculously poor. And he's not the only Manchester United player to be that poor. All the United players, the English players that were there last season, prior to this season, have been horrendous. Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Marcus Rashford. Is there a reason for this? I don't know. I'm not going to be guessing and speculating too much. But yeah, Bissaka's just good at chewing gum. Was Ronaldo injured? Or that's the thing. There's so much speculation out there. Apparently, he had a hip injury. But then, there's different rumors saying that he was, he asked not to play. How much can you really believe? Who knows? They need the Amazon cameras at Manchester United for sure. Come Palace, we'll get in there. We'll get in there now, guys. Oh, wow. He's talking about Rom. You see, that's how realist is feeling at the moment when it comes to Wan-Bissaka and those guys. But yeah, anything else that I needed to cover on this? Yeah, we spoke about it really. And second half, Man City were just outstanding. And yeah, you can't take anything away from them. And they keep rolling on and pushing towards that title. 6 points ahead of 6 points ahead of Liverpool now, with Liverpool having a game in hand and still yet to play each other at the Etihad Stadium. But yeah, we've spoken 20 odd minutes on Manchester United and Man City, of course, but it was wonderful. But we'll move on into my team next. Watford versus Arsenal. Arsenal winning by 3-2. And can I just say, this game, had goal of the month contenders alone. I think there will be goal of the month for March that will come from this game. Let me know your thoughts. What was your favourite goal? Arsenal fans, what was your favourite for Arsenal? Neutrals, which one was the best goal? Because for me, I can't go anywhere different from Cucho Hernandez. A bicycle kick. You can't go away from that. But let me not take that away from Arsenal's finishes. Especially my Arsenal favourite was Gabriel Martinelli's. The one-touch play that Arsenal made for that goal from Arteta, throwing, playing the ball to Saka. He throws it in Cedric to Ødegaard to Lacazette. One-touch play, bang, into the back of the net, top corner. I will be honest, though, Ben Foster's positioning was a little bit left to be decided. But who am I to speak? I couldn't save that. And I'm not going to take too much away from the Arsenal goals. But I just want to talk about Arsenal for a moment. How amazing it is to see Arsenal playing this wonderful football again. Going forward, I'll talk about us defensively in another aspect. And I just want to talk about I'll talk about that and then I'll get into the reason why Moss is wondering about Kieran Tierney, why so much hate. Going forward, Watford defensively are poor. Yes, we have to take that. We have to take that into consideration. 4 goals, Palace smashed them. United had plenty of chances in that 0-0 draw, didn't reflect that. But the one-touch play was wonderful. How we played out of the back. There was a clip that I saw on Twitter earlier on, and the way we was playing from right out the back, and we created an opportunity. We didn't take it in the end. Arteta, in exact Arteta way, the patterns of play was there. It was clear to see the tempo, the quality of the passes, which, guys, if you've played football, if you've coached anything, or if you coach football at all, the care that they're playing with their passing, the intensity, and how the passes are being played. As they say in coaching in football, if you've played it, guys, make sure you play that pass with intent and its meaning to played, and so it allows the opposition, allows your teammate to control it and play one touch and have that quality. No bobbling bounces, nice speed on it. So you don't have to wait for it and take another touch. The constant movement around, you can tell it's all rehearsed and drilled into these sides. And yes, for the top sides and Arsenal, these players know exactly where they've got to be. And it's amazing. And I just and it's so refreshing to see, because with Arsene Wenger, yes, we played the wonderful quality of passes, one touch, constant movement. But because of his laissez-faire approach, it led us to be open defensively. And how, yes, in this game we was open defensively, but overall we are a lot more astute and we can recover in transition a lot quicker, because players know where they need to be, know what spaces they need to cover when players are in there a lot more. And that's a massive credit to Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff. The time that has been given to him, when at this point last season, I mean, not even this point last season, a bit late, even like sooner than that, at the start of the season, people like, get him out, this is it, time done. I wasn't one of those people. The only time I had a wobble was against Spurs when we lost 2-0 at the toilet bowl when they had their fans in there. But yeah, this season, it's just amazing to see the progress, how you've seen the change of players from the start of the season. We had Leno, Pablo Mari in at the back with, we had Kolasinac playing, Cedric, who has been a lot better, but he's not been an important player for us this season. Important in the past couple of weeks. But Tomiyasu coming in, replacing him, Ramsdale, Gabriel coming back from injury, Thomas Partey coming back from injury, Ødegaard being brought back into the side, Lacazette, since his return, has been vital. Mikel Arteta's words in talking about, yes, he's frustrated and he won't be happy that he hasn't scored, but what he provides to the team. Guys, non-Arsenal fans, please understand the importance of how much a striker contributes to the side in link-up play, defensively in the press. Please understand that if you've got other players in your team that can score the goals, like Martinelli, like Saka, like Ødegaard, like Emile Smith-Rowe, the striker, the dependence on him isn't that important. It isn't that important for him to just score goals anymore. That's not what is required from the best number nines. The new modern day number 9. Man City clearly don't play with one. Liverpool don't have a number 9. Yes, they have Salah, Mane, Jota, for example. Luis Diaz now scoring the goals, and Bobby Firmino. You can see when he's not playing how much he's missed. I'll get onto Liverpool when we talk about them, but that's how the importance of Lacazette is. And guys, let me know your thoughts on that one. Defensively, we look to have, I don't know. I think, do you know? I've heard a lot about the breaks for Arsenal, how the breaks will do us favors, opposition fans. Yeah, you're playing like once a week, and that's in your favor. But guys, if you've ever played football, the lack of sharpness in there, I saw that defensively at times, understanding in certain positions and being sharp and reacting, and having that match tempo, it was lost. I thought the players in particular at the back, was Ramsdale looked a little bit shaky. He didn't make anything like glaring. He wasn't at fault for any of the goals, in my opinion. Tierney was being troubled down our left-hand side and their right-hand side a lot, even to allow the cross to come in. He wasn't able to deal with the likes of Dennis, letting them come inside a lot more. And yeah, really getting into dangerous areas, Watford, who did look sharp in the box. And the reason why Watford are in the relegation zone isn't because of what they can do. They're not scoring in front of goal. It's definitely at the back. But I thought Kieran Tierney definitely wasn't his best game. And when I see this from Kieran Tierney, I get a little bit worried, because this is when Kieran Tierney, when he has a bad performance like this, you usually see him like not play the next game because of an injury. So is he carrying an injury? I don't know. This is probably just my Arsenal anxiety, being an Arsenal fan, watching players pick up injuries left, right and centre. But that's what usually tends to happen. But he didn't have his best game. Ben White defensively, he was at fault for the second goal. But apart from that, I didn't think that Ben White was actually that bad. He was making some vital blocks. Yes, we shouldn't have been in those positions making last-ditch blocks, but he was there getting in there involved. But for the second goal, needed to do better against Sissoko there. Just get the ball clear. Wasn't strong enough, really. I know it sounds simple again, but that's just what it is. And Cedric defensively, giving the ball away in dangerous areas in our own half and in our final third. Giving them opportunities to score, but they just couldn't take them. But back on the positives, Ødegaard and Saka. Oh, don't you love them? Don't you just love them watching them play? Ødegaard, how lucky we are to get him. And there was a lot of, Arsenal fans, Maddison, please, over Ødegaard. Look at the goals and assists. GA stats, whatever. Get out. Let's not. This ain't like FIFA anymore, guys. We're talking proper ball now, yeah. And how this guy impacts the side in and out of possession, transition. Ødegaard is amazing. He's wonderful. Moss loves him. The TTF love him. What a player he is, and so underrated as well. I don't really see opposition fans praise him as much. Arsenal fans, yeah, we do. A lot of us do. But yeah, Bukayo Saka, this is why I love the guy. Consistently a threat, winning the ball back on that right-hand side, linking up with Ødegaard for Ødegaard's goal. Just amazing. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys say in the chat. What's your thoughts on Arsenal in this game? As a realist, as a neutral, what did you think of Arsenal? How do you think we performed in that game? And do you think we can make the top four? Do you think top four is Arsenal's now? Or do you see that these little bit of lapses in concentration in defence against the better side, you won't be scoring 3 goals. You shouldn't have to score 3 goals to win the game. But let me know your thoughts. I want to hear what you guys are saying. Yes, I would take him at Arsenal in a heartbeat. I was just on about Sancho. He needs a new challenge, and under Arteta we take it to the next level. Big up Santi in the place. He's not feeling very well for obvious reasons. Big up Santi, United fan. Hope you keep him well on, my bro. They don't want Aaron Wan-Bissaka back, of course. No, you can keep him. Take it. No, really, it's none of that at all, man. Take your boy, keep him. Nah, keep him over there. Is he better than Cedric? Nah. Defensively, he is, but nah. Apart from that, but Tishi goes Saka's goal for me. Yeah, just from a football purist point of view, I understand. Yeah, watching that. Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I love team goals, but that's why I'm an Arsenal fan. Ødegaard made it all happen. Yes, he did. He was instrumental in this game. It's hard to split. Who's man of the match, Ødegaard or Saka? I will keep it real. I finally see fight in Arsenal. Y'all need to get top 4, bro. Yeah, we do. I think we will now, realist. And my biggest reason why I feel that we will is because we are beating the sides that we're meant to be. We're expected to be. And the likes of Tottenham, West Ham, and United just don't do that on a consistent basis enough. I know, first 3 games, and there is a lot of context to that. But yeah, if you want to add those in, yeah, whatever. But Arsenal's a much changed side. The games that we have lost was Liverpool. Everton is the only game where I can say we're outright where we lost, where we outright needed to win. Burnley, we dropped points. Yes, we should have won. We had enough chances. We weren't great in particular. Once again, there's context involved in that. No midfielders, due to our own doing, by the way. So I can't say that we got robbed. No red cards for Xhaka, red cards for Partey. Pepe was at AFCON, those things. But Pepe, now vital was he. If I would have said that before the Wolves game, you guys would have went, oh yeah, but Pepe doesn't do anything. But when you got a quality player like Pepe who isn't available that you can bring on the bench, it'll always make a difference to a good side. So yeah, you do have to rely on a squad nowadays. It's not all about the first 11, but the first 11 got enough done. Even though Nketiah came on and hit the post, I thought he was quite good. But Martinelli, 6-1 touches. What a superb strike, exactly. And DMC, are you adding in Mikel Arteta into one of those 6 touches? It was amazing. Fantastic. This is the old Arsenal. Do you know that link-up play that we love to see? And even somehow Arsenal and Arteta, are very pragmatic, very defensive football. Tony Pulis, Moyes, Arteta. Not looking like that now. KT play close to slow Xhaka is the issue. You see Xhaka's clueless when Sissoko went forward and they scored the second. I wouldn't blame Xhaka for that one. Think about it. Xhaka was actually covering at that centre-back position because Gabriel and Ben White were caught all over the place. It went over Xhaka's head, and Ben White could see it all coming. What you got to remember is, as a defender, in Xhaka in that position, he can't see the run of Moussa Sissoko. Ben White's free, and he can. Ben White has to deal with it a lot better and has to be a lot tighter initially. And then when he does get close, he can't let that ball go past him. You have to get there and clear the ball and get it clear. So for me, for that second goal, I don't agree with you on that one, Moss. And I don't know, because Xhaka actually takes up that defensive position a lot more. And Xhaka hasn't been an issue defensively for the majority of the season. Neither is Kieran Tierney. But today, he lost his 1v1 battles. Yesterday. So that's my release. That's my reason. I got release on the brain, man. Moss, I'm an honest guy. Keep it real. Exactly. Yes, you do. DMC says, even without scoring, Laka was awesome. Do you think Arteta had anything to do with that almost seen preset? Yeah. Most definitely Arsenal had, and Arteta had something to do with that. And would we have seen that goal from Aubameyang? I don't think so, because that's not Aubameyang's game at all to be playing like that in one-touch way. I know he has done for like the Spurs goal in particular, flicking it around the corner, and then the Aston Villa one. But what Lacazette does with the 2 assists is phenomenal, and he's wonderful at doing that one-touch play. Technically so sound and assured at keeping the ball, physically gets himself in between the ball and the defender. So that's why he always wins, picks up free kicks, and he's so good at doing that. Do you know Giroud? He was very good at doing that. He probably did it on a more consistent basis than what Lacazette did, with those wonderful deft touches. But Lacazette has really added that into his game. And if you can remember, actually, DMC, Lacazette's biggest weakness when he first came into Arsenal in that first season was his hold-up play. He was scoring the goals, but his hold-up play was leaving a lot to be desired. So the fact that he has really progressed in that, and it's not just this season, but throughout his Arsenal career, you got to give credit. I know the goals have dried up. He needs to improve on that. And he knows that. We all know that, people. But that's why he doesn't get the plaudits that he deserves, because he doesn't score enough goals. But yeah, he's wonderful. Everything outside of the box is amazing. Let's see what we see. Let me see. Dare I say it, we got our Arsenal back. The last time we said that, Wilf, or as the majority of the fan base or in the crowd, was Fulham away, and look what happened after that. I'm not saying it yet, but it very much looks so. And it's not just looked like that from yesterday's game. For a while, it has done for a little bit now. On occasions, I've doubted Arteta's football now, but find a way to play with the crap he inherited to Arteta ball. Now with the player he wants, big up Arteta every single time. Of course, you have to have your doubts on Arteta. And let's be honest, Arteta has made mistakes, but that's what's going to happen from even the best managers, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp. They will continue to make mistakes themselves. So we can't completely berate him and say, use any type of, let's be honest, discriminatory form, discriminative words or anything like that because of his lack of experience, because of Pep's Cone guy, the banter. I understand it from a banter perspective. I'm all for that. But, when Arsenal fans say it for out of a bit more vim in there and a bit more actual hatred, and I don't like that. And, and that's very short and tunnel vision from what Arsenal fans do when they say that. But hey, made mistakes. The lack of experience has been a factor, but he's really seemed to learn from that. Is how he's managed players, managed them, bringing them on in games. His substitutions is improving in terms of his timing when he can sense them. Hey, massive credit to Arteta. And really saying no banter here, but I really think Ben White is not that good. He always shows the attacker inwards towards goal. I just think that's crazy. Really, defensively, he's not a pure defender, and I can hear that, and I can agree with you. In fact, that he does need to learn and develop his game defensively a lot. 1v1. I've seen him, Ronaldo, when he sat him down. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, one second, just fixing the hair there. When Ronaldo sat him down 1v1. Who else? Yeah, yesterday, there was a few occasions where he was letting the man come inside. He does need to develop that. Still relative. I don't think he'll ever get to like, you know, a world-class level defensively. But a big reason to why he's important for Arsenal is what he does from bringing the ball out the back and how he plays and his range of passing and how he can carry the ball. You know, basically what United fans thought they were getting with Harry Maguire. That's what they thought they were getting. Yeah, you know, he might not be the greatest going backwards, but going forwards, at least he can carry the ball. We're not going to go all the way back to Harry Maguire, but that's what a lot of people thought he was good at and didn't turn out to be, because he just carried it into like loose ends a lot of the time. Whereas Ben White, he shows bravery and he can spray a ball. That's why he has played in central midfield and really excelled in a back three at Brighton because of those defensive flaws into his game, those weaknesses, the inability to, you know, like 1v1 defend at the best. He's not awful, but it's not his strong suit to his game. So he hopefully keeps getting it, hopefully keeps developing. Top four is ours to lose, 100%, Mr. 200. I agree with you on that one. Merton Odegaard, exactly. That's what we always say. Man United are the banter of the weekend. Big up Luke in the chat. We'll get on to Palace soon. Don't you worry about that. And Big T, big up Vibes. Thank you for coming in and joining me. Vibes, as always. Go on, bring it in here, man. Hopefully you can bring some good vibes to yourself. And for United fans also, my brother. Hope you're keeping good. Yeah, good spot on, really. Saying Benji needs to watch Adam's Keon vids and Benji, but Benji don't watch football. Exactly. I think I'm going to move on to the next one, though, guys. But before I do that, let me run through a few more of your comments. I was talking about having Rashford at Arsenal. Okay, interesting. I feel like Rashford, though, he would work hard. He definitely... interesting. I wouldn't. Where would you play him, though? I think our left side is pretty stacked at the moment, and I don't see him on that right. Maybe Arteta could do something with him. Maybe. I don't know, though. With Tomiyasu out and Xhaka pushing further up, KT seems more cautious. I think he's wary. Yeah. DMC, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, actually, because of Cedric's defensive inabilities. And when we really do push up with Kieran Tierney on that left, what does Tomiyasu do? He stays back, not all the way back, but he comes into like a midfield position, like an inverted fullback, what we see with Pep when Kyle Walker does it, or Cancelo, etc. But when Cedric's there, because he's not as good 1v1 defensively, or he doesn't have that recovery speed or athleticism that really Tomiyasu has, KT does have to be a bit more defensive, and he takes a little bit away from him going forward. I agree with that, and also might be a tad exhausted from the responsibility of going forward and having to come back and really be assured there. So Xhaka has been pressing forward a lot more and higher, so he's been left a bit more exposed. I think that's, you know what, DMC, I think that's great shouts. And good, and that's spot on, really. Tereak, what happened to your hairline? Oh, you scaring me, bro? What do you mean? It's here, innit? It's here. Oh, Luke, man. Hey, he's on violence. What you choose violence for on YouTube, man? Hey, I saw what you said to Jordan. Luke. I ain't going to let that go for Jordan. Big up yourself, though. Look at our form, the form of defo top four challenger. Exactly. Consistency is more and more the norm for us. There we go, right there. Exactly, people. Thank you so much for the Asante Kotoko play tomorrow at 3. I'll leave the United fans themselves. He's moved over to the Ghanaian football, people. For obvious reasons, and make sure you listen to us and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. We're going to move on into the other games now. I might run through them a bit quicker because we spent 43 minutes and we're in game number 2. So yes, people, thank you so much for the interaction. I really do enjoy it. I always enjoy chatting football with you guys. You know what I mean? This is why I do it. This is why I love it. I work hard making sure I get these things together, the notes, the slideshows, making sure we know what we're talking about. But hey, I enjoy it, though. I enjoy it. That's what it's all worth it. We'll move on to the Liverpool-West Ham game. Liverpool winning by 1-0. I thought it was an entertaining match. I did this on a watch-along on, what was it, Saturday evening, and then I went for a meal straight away. I thought it was an entertaining one. Liverpool, they always have an entertaining spectacle when they play because of their high line. However, both sides will be, I don't know, Liverpool will be happy to take the win. They'll be a little bit cautious, thinking, I don't know, man, we need to improve defensively. And West Ham, they'll be ruining missed chances that they had in the first and second half. Fornals and Lanzini in particular. Liverpool was scintillating going forward. Let's be honest about that. But they just lacked that finish at the end. And I think the one player that really epitomised that was Mohamed Salah. The chances that he had, the decisions he was making in that last third. Luis Diaz had an opportunity to put Salah in and throw on goal, but he took too many touches. That's what happens when you have Mane, Diaz, and Salah. Very ball-dominant players. Very good, don't get me wrong. I'm not criticising them at all. But that's where Bobby Firmino or even a Jota comes in. But Bobby Firmino in particular, that's when Liverpool really are at their best, when Bobby Firmino is playing in that 9 and linking players up. Hey, when they beat us at the Emirates, Bobby Firmino and Jota, they didn't even have Salah or Mane. And Bobby Firmino and Jota were there ripping us to shreds. So, yeah, that's why Bobby Firmino is important in linking up the play, creating these opportunities for them to stick it in the back of the net. And once Bobby Firmino comes back, I can say this now, we'll see even more goals and even more wonderful things. Let's hope that Bobby Firmino doesn't come back from when Arsenal play Liverpool at the Emirates on the 16th of March. Big up my twin sister's birthday right there. Not my twin sisters, but my sisters who are twins on that birthday. There we go, better word in it. Triplets then, but imagine. West Ham had huge chances to equalise yet in the first and second half. I mentioned that. And Liverpool's high line was very much the reason for that. We've seen it against Chelsea a lot of the time now, haven't we? Against Chelsea, that was the exact same thing. Then they had those offside goals, but also massive chances that they didn't take. I wonder why teams keep doing that and keep missing massive opportunities and Liverpool getting away with clean sheets. Is it the goalkeepers? Is it the fact that they know Van Dijk's running back at them and they feel the pressure against Liverpool? Because you're not going to have too many of those chances, but there'll always be those chances. I've seen them at the Emirates when we got slapped by them, where we've had massive chances. Lacazette last season, I remember that when we lost, 3-1 at Anfield. Lacazette missed a massive opportunity there. But can we just talk about a little bit before we go into the Jarrod Bowen injury, Alexander-Arnold, and how phenomenal he was? Defensively, he showed it, but going forward, the array of passes, the way he can... I'm sorry, literally, I'm speechless. Guys, you can tell, speechless when it comes to talking about Alexander-Arnold. And 1v1 defensively, he wasn't too bad. We know it's not his strong suit to his game, but Jurgen Klopp doesn't mind that. Jurgen Klopp doesn't really care, and he's not going to emphasize on him being much better defensively because of how high up he is. And Liverpool centre-backs in Van Dijk and Konate are very much adept at coping with 1v1 battles for the majority of the time, up until they face Antonio. Antonio, I thought he was a real handful for the centre-backs and causing some issues, but I can't say they dealt with him well when West Ham should have scored, can I? But yeah, that's Antonio can cause problems for most centre-backs when he's on that type of form that he was yesterday. Saturday, guys, keep getting my days mixed up, you know what I mean? But so Jarrod Bowen, bringing him up now. He's picked up an injury, that ankle injury. Thankfully, when I was doing the watch long, I thought it was a significant one. It remains to be seen how long he'll be out for, but it's not a significant injury right there. So that's good news for Jarrod Bowen. And for West Ham United fans and England in terms of his prospects. So he should be back soon, but we'll have to wait. He definitely won't be playing in the Sevilla game on Thursday, but he should be back. So that answers that question there, Moss. Big up yourself. But yeah, let's get into the comments now. Let me hear what you guys have been saying. I really like those two players in the pick. They're so good. Exactly. Diaz and Bowen. Fantastic, really. Watching Diaz play, it's a joke. And he is more aesthetically pleasing to watch play football than Mohamed Salah, who he's a bit, jerky with his movements, and he just glides and he's smooth with it. Very smooth with it, isn't he? Luis Diaz. So you got to rate it there. Jared Bowen being quiet recently, though. Yeah, he has. I don't think that's just Jared Bowen, though. I think West Ham have been. In fact, I think they have been quiet, all of them. So West Ham as a side, they haven't been performing great in those games, and Jared Bowen has saved them a lot of points this season. Liverpool are doing what they need to do, keep pace with Man City, grind out results. Arsenal will be banter club for a few weeks, don't worry. Hey, Luke, you ain't getting us to rise there, but big up yourself, man. OG's listening to Sherwood with Everton. That's not great. I think we have a chance against Liverpool if we keep up our consistency. This is the EPL. Hey, there is always an opportunity. If Leicester City can beat Liverpool, Leicester City of this season can win 1-0. There is always an opportunity as long as we keep the game tight. And that Liverpool will have an off day because we're going to have to be real. We're going to have to be on it, and Liverpool are going to have an off day for that to happen because of the level that these and Manchester City are on, the two best teams in Europe. And let me dare say, you know what? If they're the best teams in Europe, 99% of the time, they're going to be the best teams in the world. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy. Let's hope for an off day for Liverpool and that we are right on it. I know it sounds basic, but the fact that I can say if they're a little bit off of it, we have a chance still. And that's just the level that we performed. We're not going to hope for completely, we have to have complete luck. No, we have to do our jobs. We know the ability and the threat that we can cause them on the counter. Hopefully, they'll still be open at that point and they won't approach it in a different way. But the first goal will be massively important. I'll be doing a watch along on here for that DMC. Don't you worry about that. My twin sisters just had their birthday in Feb. Oh, big up, man. Twins everywhere. Feb, March. Now, here we go. Arsenal and Manchester United take it in turns to be banter clubs. Hey, we're giving the past. That was last season, yeah? Yeah, I know. It has been like that in the past few years. Hopefully, that baton will never come back to Arsenal. Not never, but not for a while at least. Tomorrow's Women's Day, I guess. I didn't know. Is that International Women's Day? I didn't even know that. It's just nice to be happy after so long. Exactly. Come on, tell him again. Tell him again, DMC. Trent Alexander-Arnold is so unique in what he brings to the team. Excuse me, in my opinion, arguably one of the best in his position in the world. I think he is the best. Somebody tell me a right back that is better than Trent Alexander-Arnold right now. Alexander. I'll wait, people. Hello, Tereak. Big up, Niall. Thanks for coming in, my brother. I hope you're keeping well. And yeah, thanks for coming in and always showing the love and support, Niall. Really do appreciate that. Liverpool just lucky to have Van Dijk and gives TAA freedom. Very true. The centre backs do play a big role, but let's not take it away from Matip though, Moss. Matip does take that right hand side a lot of the time, and he's been better than Van Dijk this season. Ask a lot of Liverpool fans. Van Dijk still, the level is amazing, but that's how good Matip is. And I think they missed him. I think they missed Joel Matip in this game because Konate, how good he is. I saw him in a 1v1 foot race against Mikel Antonio, and he won. That's ridiculous athlete there. But he's still young, still inexperienced in Premier League football, hasn't had too many minutes. So there's always that opportunity there. Reece James is better. No. Reece James better than Trent. Oh, I'm not having that. I can hear this though. Cancelo. Yeah, I can hear that. I can listen to that. And Cancelo, no, I'm not having Reece James is better. But hey, this is just a game of opinions, though, isn't it? Anyone can beat anyone on their day, especially in the Prem. The way that we're playing, I fancy our chances against anyone. Liverpool, Chelsea, etc. Hey, we gave Man City a good game, and if it weren't for our own doing, if it weren't for our own missed chances and wrong decisions and those things there, we would have come away with at least a point in that one. But I don't think Reece James is better. I have to go to that, guys. I don't think that. Cancelo, I'm hearing that. But Reece James, nah. We'll get onto Reece James because he was brilliant, by the way. Why is Carrick on TV? He used to play for Spurs. That's why, really. That's the reason. But I'm talking about this relegation battle now. And I'll try and zoom through the rest of these games. Norwich 1, Brentford 3. Ivan Toney scoring a hat-trick of penalties. What? Ivan Toney, penalty merchant. Not merchant. I won't say that. That's a bit disrespectful. But on penalties, he's fantastic, isn't he? Ivan Toney. What a great penalty taker he is, with such cool, calm, and ease, and taking those 3 steps for the penalty. Yeah, tremendous bottle. But do you know why he was celebrating a bit like this against Norwich? Because, guys, Ivan Toney used to play for Brentford. Not Brentford. He does play for them now. He used to play for Peterborough, and Peterborough isn't too far from Norwich, and they have a little bit of a rivalry there in the East Anglia, that east part of England. So yeah, that's the reason why. If you saw the celebrations, he was a bit, bit leery or something like that. I wouldn't say leery, but giving it a little bit to the Norwich City fans. That's the reason why. But Ivan Toney, massive hat trick right there. Brentford, talking about Brentford as a whole, this is why I believe they're going to stay up, people. Did I say that? I'm sure I did say it on my thing with yes, I did say it with CM. Sorry, why was it blank in my mind? Big up CM every single time. CM22 Entertainment. The reason I was getting confused is because I was thinking of Cappy. I wasn't sure if it was Cappy or CM. That's what it is. But big up. James ain't far. Yeah, talking about James and Trent. Yeah, he ain't far off, but he's still not better. Like, James still hasn't been at the level that Trent has for me. He still hasn't. Luke, Reece James is better than Trent, bro. Cap on too tight. Trent, definitely no contest, but Tommy Assey coming soon. DMC, I'm hoping so. We'll have to wait and see. Tommy Cafu, did you say? What? But yeah, what time are we on now? Because that game should be kicking off in 3 minutes, but I need to hurry up on this. So yeah, Brentford, I think that assures them, and they're going to be staying up for the rest of the season. They'll be stay up, and they'll be here next season for the rest of the season. And then that moment with Brandon Williams, I thought that was hilarious. And Eriksen, Brandon Williams, he's got that aggression. United fans, you know that, with his stupid fouls that he makes and picks up yellow cards. Has he picked up a red card in his career yet, in his professional one? I don't think so, but he definitely should do soon. But that moment with Christian Eriksen, it was typical. And I think we all would have done the exact same thing, because Eriksen did drag him down, and he's a bit like, what? And then I gives him a hug afterwards. That was hilarious. But then talking about Reece James, I will say this, guys. I will say this on Reece James. Not that I disrespect him, because I rate this guy highly. The fantastic performance from Reece James. Going forward, he is similar to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He scores more goals than Trent, actually, to be, in fact. More goals from like open play. I know Trent scores from his free kicks, but Reece James isn't too bad for him either. And people say about defensively, Reece James, I don't know, man. I feel like the Chelsea system allows him to defend in a better way. And the fact that they play with the 3 at the back, and that's where we've seen Reece James at his best. He doesn't get exposed defensively. He has a lot of cover there, and he's good. I think he's slightly better than Trent defensively, but I think it's overblown because of the open spaces that Trent has to defend in when he is 1v1. There is a really much more aggressive style to defend in. And I'll be honest, it's harder to defend playing for Klopp and being a right back. Being Trent is way harder to defend than it is for Reece James under Thomas Tuchel, with, different systems, different tactics. I'm not saying that Thomas Tuchel is a pragmatic manager, but there is more pragmatism to his style than there is with Jurgen Klopp. That's a fact, because we see how high that line is and the positions that the positions that Trent takes, and he doesn't have the exact same cover that Reece James. I know Reece James takes up really high positions for the goal. Fantastic. But yeah, Reece James and Trent. I love this. This is what this discussion's about. But Burnley in that second half, the goals were shocking. I'm talking about Chelsea. Yep, they did well. This is why I think Chelsea will finish third. Sorry, Moss. Sorry, Wilf. But that's why, because they won't concede goals at all. They keep it tight at the back. They won't always score 4-0 flatters them in terms of their performance, but it's more to do with how bad Burnley were defensively. McNeil, oh my days, the chances he had in that first half. Couldn't believe it at all. Couldn't believe it. But yeah, 4-0, Burnley. Still in that relegation battle. Still need to improve in that aspect, guys. We still need to look out for that. I'm just going to have a look at the table now as the game, in Tottenham has just about kicked off. I won't be doing a watch along for that one, people. I got to eat my dinner and I got to sort out a few things for tomorrow anyway. But yeah, so for Burnley, they have what? 21 points. Still got a call. Everton have a couple of games in hand over them. They've got a game in hand on Leeds and 2 over Brentford. So still in there with an opportunity. But they're 6 points behind Brentford and they need to win those 2 games in hand. Burnley slacking a little bit after being in a good run of form, picking up a draw against Palace. That's where it seemed to really go down for a little bit. And then the game against Leicester, the 2-0 defeat was disappointing. And then the 4-0. Hopefully, well, for Sean Dyche's side, hope for them, they hope to be bouncing back. And they have bounced back from worse a lot of the time. Leicester 1, Leeds 0. That was a big victory for Leicester in terms of them just trying to creep up the table, try and get themselves in the European places, at least for the Conference League. They are in the Conference League. They're playing Rennes on Thursday, so that's where all their hopes are on. And Jesse March, I thought it was a good, a decent performance. The results obviously not ideal given where Leeds are in the table, literally 2 points above the relegation zone with a game more than Burnley and Everton having tonight's game, and then 2 more games after that to catch up. So not a great result, and that's what it's all about. But some positives to take for Jesse March, I believe. Harvey Barnes, my question is to you. Does Harvey Barnes get an England cap? Sorry, Siri, not talking to you. Does Harvey Barnes get himself an England cap? Will he get into the England side for the World Cup? Who knows? Newcastle, Brighton. Newcastle continue their great form. Ryan Fraser under Eddie Howe. Massive job that Eddie Howe's been doing there. Really picked up the levels at Newcastle and needs to get the credit he deserves. Manager of the month for me. Was he voted for that? I don't know. Somebody has to let me know for that one. But let me know about that. Brighton doing it, not doing it. They're not smashing it. Looking at their recent form, where Brighton, they've literally lost 4 games on the bounce. The last win was against Watford on the 12th of February, but lost against United, lost against Burnley at home and at Villa at home, and then Newcastle away. So it needs to pick up there. They need Adam Webster back. But yeah, Ryan Fraser was fantastic. Jacob Murphy, can I say, underrated winger in the Premier League. Let me just say that there. He looked good, I thought. But defensively, and they had some opportunities, Brighton, but just didn't seem to take them. Let me slide through to the next one. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Crystal Palace 2. Mateta and Zaha. Zaha, he's back, baby. He's been phenomenal the past few. Since he's come back from the African Cup of Nations, actually. Will Zaha, he's back. He's back on it. Is he playing for a move? I doubt it. I don't know, because there is a good project. Crystal Palace in 10th position now, only 2 points behind Southampton, with a lot of praise this season. And 7 points behind Wolves and the team that just beat. Fantastic. But I've got Keon Hoover here. Guys, if you haven't done so, go check out the comments that Bruno Lage has said about Keon Hoover, because wow, it was damning. I spoke about it in my watch along. I don't have them to hand right now, but I would recommend having a look, because Keanu Hoover, basically, to give some context, if you're not going to check it out, I'll give you context behind it. He picked up an injury in the game, and Keanu Hoover picked up an injury in the game. Didn't have a great one. He was poor against West Ham as well, in fact. But Bruno Lage came out and burst out with mad comments that came out unexpectedly, because he went down injured after 20 minutes and needed to be replaced by Johnny Castro. And Bruno Lage, he said, this is a warning, not only for Key, but it's for all the kids we have in our team. They need to understand I don't waste time with guys who don't work hard every day to improve people. And that was kind of crazy to begin with, because then he went into it a little bit more, but I don't have the comments to hand right now. I found this one. I found this little snippet, but I need to get the rest. But yeah, that was crazy. But Crystal Palace, their form has been fantastic of late. Isn't that right, Palace fans? The big Palace contingency. We'll get back into the comments as soon as I run through all the games, because I want to hear your thoughts, Crystal Palace, on your excellent season and your progression. Yes, you've had a little bit of a tough patch in some runs, but fair play to you guys for doing what you're doing excellently again. on that good run. Let's have a look at your run, actually. So you beat Watford, you drew against Burnley, but then you beat Wolverhampton away. And you do seem to be an away side, I think, Palace. You do seem to be performing better away from home than you do at home. And that's weird because Palace, you're renowned. I do think you've got the best home crowd in the league. I do think that. I've heard a lot of people say it now. So yeah. But big game coming up, Man City next. We'll be talking about that in the Premier League preview. That will be coming on Thursday, people. So stay tuned for that one. And then I think there's one more game. I think it is the last game. Yes, it is. It is the last game. Aston Villa 4, Southampton 0. And let me just come up here. Let me go on the big screen and say this. I want to apologise to all Aston Villa fans and Philip Coutinho. I doubted him. I was wrong. I will eat my humble pie. I said, no, this isn't the move that Villa should be making. He's not going to have that same hunger anymore. I look at players' mentality, how it's worked off at Barcelona, coming to Aston Villa. He's coming because Steven Gerrard there. He's going to give him that love round the shoulder, and I don't think it'll work out. However, he's been on fire, and the performances that he's put in the past couple of weeks, in particular against Brighton and Southampton, against the teams from the South Coast, different gravy. 4-0, against this Southampton team, who we know, yes, under Ralph Hasenhüttl, they can capitulate. However, let's not take that away. Steven Gerrard, he had a little bit of a sticky run. Let's be honest. The 3 games before his 2 wins against the South Coast teams, he drew against Leeds, where they bottled it. They were 3-1 up. Yeah, it was 3-1. Lost to Newcastle after a poor performance and lost to Watford at home. But they bounced back. And those teething problems seem to be getting solved. Steven Gerrard is getting to know his best team, and that will happen. And those things, those results, those bumps in the road will happen for any manager, especially a new manager who's understanding his best team and his players and giving everyone opportunities and seeing who performed best and etc. But hopefully it doesn't happen for the 19th of March when Aston Villa are at home to Arsenal in that 12:30 kickoff in a massive game for Arsenal that we need to win. Those are the real tests for us, because those are the games where if we pick up 3 points, top 4's in the bag, baby. But yeah, excellent performance. And Southampton, inconsistency. I predicted they would lose, not by this much. But week 28 continues. So, guys, I won't be giving you the league table because we do have Tottenham versus Everton right now, and then Norwich, Chelsea, Southampton, Newcastle, Wolves, Watford, and Leeds versus Aston Villa not tomorrow, on Thursday. But big up everyone in the chat. I'm going to run through a lot of the comments now until run through all the comments now, and then we'll wrap it up there, and you can enjoy watching Spurs lose, hopefully. Big up Brentford, exactly. They have been fresh. They went through a sticky patch, then their troubles, but they seem to be coming out of it now. Hopefully they did. It was a 6-pointer. They needed to win, and they did. Tony Boney, exactly. Trent 1v1 defending is terrible. I don't think it's actually terrible, Rich. I think it is massively overblown. 1v1 defending. It was over. He's a little bit of a myth. He's not the greatest, but he's not as anywhere near as bad as what people make out. I will say that. That's my opinion. Shoot me down when it happens, and if I'm wrong. Southgate will diss TAA again, I'm sure. Maybe he might do. Tonight, huge for Everton. Lose this. I pray they win. The fear was setting. They could go down. I know you did predict Everton to go down in our prediction stream, actually. So, Wilf, you better hope that they pick up 3 points against Spurs tonight. And do you still think they'll go down if they can beat Spurs? Kane versus DCL for England should go right until a watch along of bad football. No watch along, man. I got to eat my dinner. I still got to get things sorted because I'll be doing a watch along for tomorrow and Wednesday, and we'll do the preview on Thursday, and I might do a preview and follow on to a watch along on Thursday. Thank you to thank you for your hard work, Tereak. Great show. Come on, you Gunners. Exactly. Come on, you Gunners. Thank you so much, DMC, and everybody else in the chat for showing the love and support and coming in and interacting, chatting football. And you know what? It's been great. I always love it. I wax lyrical about you guys all day long, man. Really do appreciate it. And can you smash a like if you haven't done so? Just hit that like button. Subscribe on YouTube if you're watching elsewhere. because that would be very much appreciated. Need to get the subscriber count up a little bit more, but it's on my bad. It's my bad, and I need to be promoting it on the other platforms. But can you guys help me on that? Can you? I'm just asking. I hear you, Eagle Eye, but still take TAA all day long. Eddie Howe, what a job he's done. 100% big up Eddie Howe. And Zaha is back. Louis, he really is frightening form. And he'll be coming up against Carl Walker on that Monday. Carl Walker's got to be careful. Elise up against João Cancelo. I think Elise could cause João Cancelo some issues, you know. I'm going to say it. I saw, who was it? Martinelli causing João Cancelo a lot of issues, and I really do rate Michael Elise, Louis. Hey, told you the hope setting in. No Dele Alli for versus Spuds. He's not. Is he on the bench? Do you think we'll get something against City? I think City will drop points at some point this season. I don't know. I think they'll drop points in these last games. How many games have they got left? What, like 10 games left? I think they'll drop points somewhere, and I'm not talking about Liverpool. I do think they will. I'm going to say it. City to drop points against Palace. I've said it here now. I'm sorry, City fans. I'm saying it. Palace are going to do it. Up the Palace. Can I just say Mark Gay and Tereak Mitchell, future England players? You are right. You are right. Mark Gay most certainly will be. And Tereak Mitchell, what a left back he is. 1v1 defensively. Hey, he's quality. No criticism for him there. And going forward, yeah, didn't I speak about this with you guys before on Eagle Eye Football? And I said, Tereak Mitchell, he's the one in terms of better than Wan-Bissaka for me. Better, and yeah, I know it's easy to say now, but I was saying it way before, because he can actually do something going forward. He can produce, he can cross, he can actually be involved in attacking play. But then 1v1 defensively, he's outstanding. So yeah, I love Tereak Mitchell and Mark Gay. Yeah, wow, it's very young still. He's still going to continue to make mistakes, but centre backs don't peak until at least 25, at least 25. But I'm saying 28. You'll see the best of Mark Gay. If Maguire can surely play, then yeah, Gay and Ben White. Rich, all I'm saying is I'm hoping for a point against, but if we win, scenes doing a double, only Spurs can do that. They think, go on, Palace, you can do it. Speaking of managers in the season, for me, Vieira is defo a shout. First season, new players brought in, level of the club massively improved. Wow, definitely a nomination. I don't think he'll get it, but yeah, for the turnover of players, he deserves that nomination and to be thrown in the hat. I think the likes of Arteta, he usually goes to a title winner, like in Pep or Klopp. But yeah, Arteta, he's been levels. Thomas Tuchel, I wouldn't say that, because Chelsea have underperformed. David Moyes, of course. Bruno Lage, he's going to be up there. But yeah, definitely deserves a nomination. Liverpool cheering for the Palace. Louis, if we win, scenes, bro. Our away form was terrible before Watford. Okay, was it? But true. Okay, in terms of how I see you play, I do think you are very good on the counter-attack, and you will cause a lot of teams problems. You beat City at the Etihad, for goodness sakes. But yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, if we win, it will be nuts. It's also on my birthday. Is it your birthday on Monday? Big up, Louis, man. I will be doing a watch along for that. Rich, are you going to be at the game if you're going to be doing a watch along or something? Yeah, let me know. But yeah, big up, man. Big up, Louis. Hope you have a great happy birthday on Monday. I will wish it you then. He called it on Coutinho. He had something to prove. Gerrard and him, great fit. Gerrard showing he's better than Lampard as he was as a player. I agree with that last part, and I've got to give you credit, Wilf. I didn't think it was going to work out, but I think the Gerrard factor is massive in that, because maybe we were linked with him at Arsenal, and people think, oh yeah, he's doing it now. Why couldn't Arsenal get him just to add to their, just on a loan, etc. No. I think the fit at Aston Villa, being loved, being appreciated, going to be playing week in, week out, trusted, arm around the shoulder, going to be one of the best players. Yes, he would be technically one of the best players, but he's not going to get that at Arsenal because it's such a competitive squad. Yeah, it's a right fit for him perfectly. What is that Tottenham do? What? Is he Tottenham get battered everywhere they go? Tottenham get battered. hopefully. I'll be at Selhurst. Big up, Rich, man. I'm going to have to be bringing, you know what. I will be doing a watch along. And yes, you said you're going to hop in at half time, actually, I remember. Big up, man, if you can, if you get good internet. You seem to, because you always give up the live updates in the chat. So big up, man. Big up, Rich. Yeah, he's going to have that good light show. It'll be a light show. Tell them to continue it and not just leave it for the cup, because it needs to happen. The light show is always good for bringing the crowd up, and not like Palace need it anyway with your home support. But there's been a goal for Spuds. Oh, there we go. So Tottenham, they can still get battered. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in once again. I really do appreciate it. And for those of you that are watching now who made it all the way to the end, you are a legend. I want you to leave a comment if you made it all the way to the end. And do you know what comment I want you to say? For those of you at the end, and I'll give you a special reply in the chat. Comment at the end of this video. I want you to comment and say, Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered. All I want you to say is Tottenham get battered. There we go. There we go, people. Love to you all. Have a good one and peace.